right.
YouTube peoples.
Hey, live and direct. Round number 3. That's right, round number 3.
We're back from the break.
Oh,
Jeremy Bernheisel,
independent presidential candidate.
Americans, Purple People's Party.
America's Purple Party.
I thought it was
You
People
know
Purple.
what? Right now, I am just so tongue-tied. I'm not even gonna lie. This was a good strain for the night. Cereal milk. Hey, I appreciate it. Big shouts out
Can we
to
tell the difference?
Crazy
Trade?
Cannabis Company for helping me out on this one.
You in trade?
Mm-hmm. But of course, this is what we're supposed to do. Yay!
Well, I got this when I was up at the ocean.
Yeah.
I want to see if I got some. I'm going to be posting ocean, and I was there because of the invisible bars I live with. I could have enjoyed my stay there a lot more, huh? Of course, it did rain a lot.
Yeah.
Is this all for me?
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, that's for me.
Okay.
I think I can tell the difference.
Yeah.
I think I can tell the difference a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've had any of this chain. I know it's a hybrid. Probably should put it in my other jar, but no, I can see that. See, when you put the indica and the hybrid next to each other, you
Yeah.
can see the difference. Same with the sativa. I just didn't want to mix my jet fuel sativa. I got some jet fuel. This is 1812. The recording shows that one looks like a little middle finger sticking up.
Oh yeah. It's a little finger, you know.
So, what is your? Did you pick a topic for this time around, or?
Well, no. This is a fun part of the actual, conversation here. Where we actually go ahead and just get our random questions for the random question of the night tonight. Robin, what is inside your purple drink? Can you make
Oh,
sure
my
that
purple drink.
What is inside your purple
If
drink?
you
So-
look at my other post on my YouTube page, this is butterfly pea. It's actually lemonade with the butterfly pea flower powder. Butterfly pea flower comes from Taiwan type and areas like that. It grows like a morning glory, and the buds. They snip the buds, can be used to make tea. I buy the powder because as a transient, I don't have the space nor the ability to make tea from flowers. Although some people smoke it.
Yeah.
Joy, I forget her name. If what's his name was here, he would have been able to tell me. He knows her.
Okay.
Smoked it and thought it was great. But it has a lot of things for collagen and like the cartilage. I have problems because I've fallen and different things. So, and it's also good for diabetics and urinary issues. But yeah, the pH changes. If you make this hibiscus, which is red, with the butterfly pea flower, you get purple. This is lemon and butterfly pea flower, which you would think yellow like lemon and blue would not make purple.
Yeah.
But the pH is what does it. And speaking of pH, the soil, the pH of the soil, the pH of the water, the pH of all around us. Now, you live next to water.
Yeah.
I was next to water at the ocean. Water has a different atmospheric presence, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, great.
No, I was just waiting for the follow-up. Wait.
No,
So,
I was
okay.
asking you and what your thoughts on that. Living by the water just seems really pleasant, you know.
Sometimes. For me, I got other issues though. Whenever it gets ready to rain, I'll be able to tell you. I am more accurate than our weatherman.
Oh, you mean your body will let you know.
My body lets me know.
Oh, yes, as
Yeah,
we
so-
get older. But again, going back to the original topic of this evening, education.
Yeah, education.
This is the other thing that we need to look at too. These neurodivergent young people that don't have the imprint of our generations that are teaching them in these formal school settings, are not going to grasp it the same manner.
I don't think they're going to grasp it the same manner anyways, just because of all the new knowledge that's being promoted and taught.
Well, that goes back to transparency. You know, with social media and the doofusness of what's going on, excuse me, in our very public offices of president, our current president.
Hey, and don't forget, the Bible sells Bibles, or the devil sells Bibles now too.
I don't know that.
Oh man, no, Donald Trump, he has his own new Bible out there right now.
If you
didn't
speak
know
against the devil, he has to leave.
Huh?
If you speak in Jesus' name against the devil has to leave.
Yeah.
That's why some people can't repeat after me. In Jesus' name we pray, forever and always, and then so on and so forth.
So I thought the big thing with government was to take religion out.
Yeah, you're supposed to
They say
have
it.
separate. You're supposed to have a separation, a clear separation of government and religion. There's supposed
Well,
to be
they
a separation.
they took away Easter Monday. There is no Easter Monday anymore. There's no holiday for that.
Really?
There's no holiday for Good Friday. Nobody gets allowed days off unless you put in for it. You know, so like I said, it's just very different than from 100 years ago or 50 years ago when these things were initially stated. Okay, you want to talk about? Let's talk about Declaration of Independence and blah 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 blah. Isn't it time we start looking at things in a little bit of a different fashion?
So are you stating that maybe we need to look at possibly rewriting the Declaration of Independence?
Well, at least looking at it and saying what is applicable now and what is not, instead of amending it 50,000 times. Eventually you get so lost in the amendments, where is the actual document that originate from?
Yeah.
It's like putting footnotes on your paper. If you're all the time citing all these other things, what does your paper actually have content relative to the present situation?
Okay. So in that aspect and stuff like this, I'm actually kind of open up to the idea of rewriting our actual Constitution.
Constitution, okay,
The
so
United
there's
States
all kinds
Constitution.
of, yeah, there's a lot of things that need to be looked at from.
Yeah, but I think a Declaration of Independence and an actual another Constitution should be provided for the American people, because honestly, the United States government right now is already making all the amendments to the actual Constitution.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
Without, the
that's like
American
putting on
people's
5 pairs of gloves.
Yeah.
You know, well, they do that at the VA. I'm gonna branch off here to veterans topic. At the veterans admin, they every time they make a decision, it's like another slap a coat of paint
Yeah.
on the original, and then it gets so far away from the original that then it becomes tide pooled. Okay, so I want to reach out to all the veterans and say we need to educate about what is due us. I was having a conversation with the Vietnam veteran earlier this evening. Mr. Goodwin owns the restaurant here, and
The veterans. We're talking about the Vietnam veterans. You're having
yeah,
a
well, so
conversation
we
with
need to
Mr.
have
Goodwin.
the proper benefit. Oh, yes.
What
If
the veterans need to know.
treat the
what-
veterans appropriately, we can get people in the military. We don't have to go to high schools and recruit our children. You know, if a person, a woman at 16 is considered a child under the law, why are they going to the school and recruiting these kids? You know,
Well,
that I have a real problem with that. I was one of those kids. So
You know,
I'm quite honest.
The JRT, you're talking about like the JRTC program and the ROTC.
Not
program?
even that. That goes even beyond that. I'm talking about the recruiters going in
And getting these kids to
and
actually
having a big assembly
Yeah.
with all of the different branches standing up and going, this is why you need to join our branch. This is why you're in a dead-end farm life.
Yeah.
You know, come join the military. I've seen it happen. And then they go out and they smoke weed and test positive for drugs, so they get out of the military. Because that's not what they signed up for.
Yeah.
You know, they're kids. How can we have called them culpable to be in our military?
Well, as a former non-commissioned officer of the United States Army Infantry, I can honestly say I've had 17-year-olds fully capable of actually being outstanding soldiers on the battleground. So
That's not the argument.
But I understand where you're going at with this. If we're able to actually go down there and recruit at the age of 16, why is that even? If we're saying protect our kids, well, why are we not only just looking at the people down here, but let's look at maybe making it so it's only at the age of 18 you can come in, because co-signing away your rights and stuff as a 17-year-old. Right? Is that what you're getting at, or am I getting off track?
No, I'm just saying that if some states recognize 23 still to be a juvenile offender
Okay.
at 23, then we should also consider that recruiting people to go and fight and be in war and be in military should also have a cutoff. You don't approach like, I know, look, I was very capable at my job. So
Yeah.
good that I just eradicated my job. But I wasn't at the place I should have been at my best performance. If that makes any sense? The other things that were going on.
Yeah.
Somebody once said, you hold the spring in your hand, you release it very quickly and it bounces everywhere.
All right.
You release it very slowly and it stays right here. I got that instant boom. Okay, there you go, boom. That's kind of like that transition we were talking about.
Oh, okay.
You know, tying back to your other topic.
All right. Well, time back to education.
Well, education is a transition.
Education system, and the other education systems globally that I've actually kind of looked into and things like this, like how the Japanese teach their children versus how the United States teach their children. And knowing that the actual Japanese have surpassed the United States when it comes down to some
Oh, I'm sure.
and so many different levels. But also recognizing that, you know, a year-round actual education system seems to actually work out better for a lot of kids because it keeps the actual information fresh and fresh within their actual system. So they're able to actually go ahead and focus in on the actual next things that had to continuously go back and revisit. They're already now progressing forward.
No.
So I've seen the benefits of this, but I've also seen, you know, how we have it here in the United States. I don't think we don't have dedicated teachers, because I know we have some very dedicated teachers.
My aunt is a teacher.
But at the end of the day, I see a lot of flaws in our educational system, and I think, you know, this one standard, one size fits all type thing, we have to put that aside and understand everybody learns at a different pace and a different level.
Well, when you're breaking it down into grades, yeah.
Do you think the No Child Left Behind Act could be rewritten better? Instead of making it so it's impossible to fail and moving the children along in their grades, do you think that it would be okay to give them more opportunity for education instead of kicking them out at 18?
I do. I think we have lowered our standards continuously, and we're seeing the actual effect of the actual lowering our standards and educational standards across the board.
Well, we're seeing it with the job market and with the economy, you know, because young people are not taught a lot about that.
But instead, so like in Japan and stuff like this, they don't actually have any exams or anything like this. They don't train for exams where you can memorize something and just be able to regurgitate what you memorized. No, they want you to learn something. They want you to be happy about learning about something. So
motivated.
And that's a really important factor right there, because right now our actual public education, it doesn't excite the children. It's supposed to excite to learn the actual topics. So getting the actual kids' actual attention and putting it solely into these actual programs is definitely one of my key things I've been looking at. How do we actually do this?
Well, do you know anything about the Head Start program?
I do.
It was started back in the late 60s. I read the book by the lady who initiated the original and the concept behind it. And I think the Black Panthers also demonstrated a lot of things in the educational system. That's where the free breakfasts and all of that programs came out. So there's been a lot of social activism that has gone into, but we need more because the parents are not aware of really what's going on. I think if we were to include all the influences, you know, it's hard. I know people got wrapped up in things, you know, but in the next 20 years, we're going to have a whole nother demographic to deal with.
Yeah.
We're talking about 20-somethings that are going to be 50-somethings. And what are they doing? We don't know. There's a whole generation, a whole block of generations, a couple of generations, I guess, I don't know. I'm not around it that much, you know, I'm really ignorant. That's why, you know, we're hearing about how they educate in other countries. I've never been to other countries. Never been out of the continental United States.
That's another thing. You know, a lot of the issues that we have is due to the lack of exposure of United States citizens amongst other United States areas.
I think there should be road trips in everybody's life.
I think I really do too. Because you know what? There's nothing like getting out there.
How many road trips have you taken in the last 5 years?
I think 4 out of that 5 was almost like a continuous road trip. So I'm like, no.
A continuous road trip for a couple of years,
With a pause in between, but you know. But I think exposure is a huge issue. And lack of exposure to other cultures within the United States. Being able to go to an area and be able to accept that you're in a different culture is a really hard thing for a lot of people to accept sometimes.
They don't, because they don't
Understand. No.
Well, as Americans, we feel a different kind of presence in other countries.
Yeah.
As Americans, we stick out pretty easy.
Yeah,
People can identify Americans pretty easy.
Normally it's follow. Hey, look at that stupid ass American. I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
honest. I do. I heard that quite a bit from my other friends in other countries and stuff like that. They're always able to actually point out the actual stupid ass Americans just by the stuff that we kind of expect. But yeah, with that being said, I think exposure is definitely a definite solution to a lot of issues that we actually have
Well,
within our cultures.
that ties in the one generation with the next. Example, our Vietnam veterans versus your era veterans, or even my son's era. As veterans, there's a level of trust and comfort. And a lot of children don't get that at school. I think a lot of people join the military or religions or cults or lifestyles or whatever. Well, for whatever reasons they want to do that. But, I think that the one generation doesn't want to talk about it. The other generation needs to talk about it.
Yeah.
And the other generation really doesn't know what to think about it. I mean, I was looking...
Well, I think it's important to be clear. Raise your hand if he speaks for you.
Well, that's outstanding. Perfect comment on that one.
They always do, don't they?
This is going to conclude our actual episode of Coffee Pussy Questions. I appreciate everybody's time tonight. Thank you, Robin, for you coming out and everything. Everybody out in the actual studio audience, I appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you guys so much. Another successful 3J Friday.
Fuck Trump.
Oh, you already know it. It's definitely fuck Donald Trump, but it's definitely fuck Biden too.
Fuck Biden too.
Okay.
Gang.
I ain't fucking in
Fuck
it.
you talking about? I wouldn't fuck him with your dick.
No, no. Here we go once again. Hey, but
Good podcast.
yeah, it's been a great night. I hope you guys all have a great one. Stay positive, stay motivated, keep on doing what you're doing. Remember, it's Vote Purple 2024. It's your friendly, independent president. You can adjourn for us. Thanks.
Edit. That's my YouTube. Oh, I had a couple people